Today is the big day in Prime Minister Modi's visit to America. It is the business end of things. It will start off with the opening ceremony of the state visit that's going to happen at 10 o'clock local time. He will get a 21-gun salute. The military bands will be playing. There's going to be all the grandeur, the pomp and ceremony at the White House lawns where this opening ceremony will take place. After the pomp and grandeur of that ceremony, he will then head in for the delegation level talks with President Biden's team, and then eventually after that there will be one-on-one talks followed by a working lunch. So that's the first half of the day. In the second half of the day, he heads over to the Capitol Hill building, the US Congress, where for the second time he will be addressing a joint session of the US Congress, thereby becoming the first Indian leader, Indian Prime Minister, to address a joint session of the US Congress twice. The only other world leader who's done that more than that is Benjamin Netanyahu of Israel, the Israeli Prime Minister. So clearly that is going to be an honor as well. The red carpet is being rolled out. There is bipartisan support for India amongst Republicans as well as Democrats, because both sides of the aisle here in Washington and the Beltway realize that India is the long-term bet to make for Washington's own strategic interests, whether it's in the Asia-Pacific or beyond. And then finally in the evening, he will have a state dinner. It's going to be completely, the high-end diplomatic red carpet that can be rolled out for any visiting dignitary. There's going to be a select group of individuals, guests who will be invited for it. We're given to understand that the kind of demand that we're seeing for invitations for this state dinner is almost unprecedented. The last big head of government who got a huge state dinner happened to be Emmanuel Macron. At that time, I believe the number of guests were around 350 or so. This time, we're given to understand it could be upwards of 500. So we're looking at, in a sense, I don't use the word historic very loosely, but this could potentially be a historic day and a historic evening. So this is really the business end of Prime Minister Modi's visit to the United States. I think the overarching theme, both from the Indian side as well as from the US side, is that this is the natural partnership for the 21st century. As Prime Minister described it, America and India are natural allies, whether it's in the field of defense cooperation, strategic interests, economic imperatives. And I think there is a realization in both sides that if India has to grow and grow big over the next 10, 20, 30 years, much like China did when they had that period of détente between America and China from the late 1970s, early 1980s, all the way till the 2010s, till the Xi Jinping regime, as it were. So I think that same realization is dawning on both the American and Indian leaderships that for the next 30 years, India needs a high-speed growth to be able to be in a position where it can challenge the big powers of the day. And in this case, of course, that happens to be China. So I think the larger picture that both sides are trying to draw is how to take this natural partnership, this partnership among natural allies has been described, to the next level, further deepen cooperation and also broaden cooperation, extend the number of areas in which they're cooperating. So you're going to see defense technology, you're going to see critical emerging technologies, you're also going to see a whole host of people-to-people areas that will be touched upon as well. But the fundamental underlying theme is that the United States and India are betting on each other's future to take on the world.